Hi everybody, welcome Tammy from Tammy's Homesteading Crafts. Today we're in the YouTube corner, the corner of my office where I like to come to you guys on a now monthly basis for my knitting podcast. It has been a month since I have podcasted for a knit episode. So we got a lot to go over. We've done a lot of sewing, we've done a lot of knitting. We just have a lot to go over. So if you guys are interested in everything that we have to show today, stick around. Okay, so the first thing we usually do when we do a knitting podcast is I will go over everything that has been updated into the shop, show the new bags that I have, and all that kind of stuff. Not where we're going to be, but what's going on in the shop. Today, let me tell you, is September 30th. About a month since I have done a knit podcast, so we do have a lot of information. So get your beverage of choice, guys. It could be a long one. I don't know till I go to edit. Is usually what I say because I really don't know. I'm not going to show every bag that I have in the design because, for one, a lot of the bags are gone, but also it's going to take a lot. I've been doing a lot of sewing, so there are a lot of different bags. I will talk about which ones I have in the shop. Hopefully I can remember everything, but I have been putting them on the website as I make them. So they are actually selling as I am putting them on the website. And also I will put this information down here, but we have our 2-year anniversary sale going for the birthday of Tammy's Homesteading Crafts being started. So I will put the code down here for all of you who might not follow me on Instagram and Facebook to see that we have a sale going on. The code will be down below, and it is a 20% off your total purchase, and the sale runs until October 12th. So you still have a full week to get stuff. I've been adding gradually more and more things onto the website as we go along. Just got done adding in a whole bunch of Christmas bags. Last week I dumped in a whole bunch of fall bags that I had. So it's just gradually getting everything into the shop. But let's show what we have as far as new bags into the shop. So we'll start out with our fall bags. This is a design I had last year. It went really well, so I decided to get a little bit more material and make a few more bags from this material. I ended up making a large with gusset drawstrings or handles, and then of course this has the pockets on the inside of this one. So this is a large in the shop of the antique trucks with the fall theme. Keeping with our trucks because, you know, I like the trucks, and apparently all of you guys like the trucks because they sell relatively well. I have some drawstring bags. This happens to be a medium drawstring bag, and this is the farmer's market truck, red truck that I have. I did pair it with pumpkins on the inside. We have a small drawstring. Not sure if I have any more of these. I know my large is gone, but I'm not sure I have any more of these sizes other than these two. But check them out. They are the not anti-truck. They are the farmer's market trucks on the website. And all of these bags will be under the multi-listing tab on the website. And of course, this is one of the notions pouches. Pumpkin on the inside. They will be under the multi-listing section of the website, and then it'll show you everything that is still available with that fabric, with that material that I have. So that is where you can find them the easiest, other than searching for fall bags. They'll also be under fall themed bags as well, but and then once you get to that design, everything that's available is under there. I have been trying to make sure that I link everything that is available under that same design so that it's right there and you can see what's available. And you'll be able to link through the pictures, and then it'll show you the sizes and what's still available. This is produce fall harvest. Fall produce, I guess I have it called on there. Paired it with some orange on this one. This happens to be a medium drawstring. And then I have a small drawstring. This one I paired with brown tan on there. And of course they all have my tag on the outside, and they all have a key tag on the inside to hold keys, stitch markers, whatever it is that you want it for, because I know some of you who are buying them are not necessarily using them as knitting or crocheting bags. You're just using them as a bag. So that'll allow you to hold a key or whatever into it. Okay, one of the other sets of bags I had last year, and it went really well, and I just got a little bit more material to do more of these, but this is apples with the signs on the bottom of it. This happens to be a small drawstring. It has the signs on the top here. It's paired with just a really light yellow material on the inside. We have a small snap. Again, the wristlets on these, but let's see the words there. I try to remember to, let me lock my screen. Okay, so hopefully the screen is locked now. But I have a medium snap in that. But what I was going to say is I'm trying to make sure that I hold the bags there long enough so that you guys can get a good picture and it can focus on the bags itself. I tend to put them up there and I can't watch myself because I tend to look at myself, which is not looking at the camera. So I use the back of my phone and I just look at the camera. And I try to, I don't know how long it takes for the camera to focus on stuff. And a lot of times I notice after the fact that it really didn't focus all that well on something. So I try to put it up and then talk about it while it's still being held there so it hopefully can focus. But then we also have the harvest, and I might have shown these ones last episode. Not sure. I didn't think I did, but I might have. But yeah, these are fall harvest that I have. And I paired them with an orange. But these are like the autumn harvest, I guess they might say on the website, with scarecrows and stuff on them. Not sure. I really like this material too. It was really kind of cute. And then we have some of this giving thanks. Grateful. We have some of these in the shop. And they're paired with a brown. Words on the back. Some of them have pumpkins in there. Some of them have brown. Some of them have orange. It all depends on what I had left of material. Okay. Now we have a couple of knit-related bags. And I don't think these have been shown on the website or on the podcast. And this is multicolored skeins of yarn. I got this material. I thought it was really, really cute. Very bright. I paired it with purple. And I did a purple drawstring on the top, but I did a purple on the inside. But yeah, just skeins of yarn. And I was able to do some notions pouches. And these are different. Some of them have different colors on the inside. So there's like the pink one, there's a purple one, there's a bright blue one, and I believe there's a teal one. Might only be, and there might be another color. I'm not really sure. What's available is on the website. But yeah, I had quite a bit of this left over to make the notions pouches, so I ended up making like 4 or 5 of them, but not too many of the bags. I didn't have a whole lot of material left for that. Okay, the last knit related bag that I have, well, of knit themed, crochet themed, this is for the spinners out there. It's a spinning bag. It's got a spinning wheel on it. It's got your sheep, scissors, a ball of yarn with some knit needles. So it's a knit themed bag, but I ended up pairing it with purple just to try to get bring out the purple that's in there. And then we were able to get a notions pouch, a couple of these in the shop. And then I paired that with the purple as well. Okay, so now, and those will all, like I said, will be under the multi-listing, and everything that's available will be under there for the design of material that is. Now, the rest of these, well, not the rest of these, the next part of these bags are my, one-of-a-kind design bags. So we're going to have some wrist bags, and they will be under the wrist tab. And this is Pumpkin Kisses Harvest Wishes. This one says Happy Fall. And of course, all of these are fall related, but not one of them is the same. They have a really pretty pumpkin-y design on the inside. Fall themed design on the inside. Really, really excited with those. This one is my favorite color is Autumn. And then Autumn Festivities. We have another cute little Highland cow. We got a bunch of these in the shop. He's just sitting there. And then another Highland cow that is in a wreath of sunflowers. So those are all of the wrist bags. There's a few more that I have in the shop. Some of them I had previously shown. But they go pretty fast, so if there's one you see that you like, grab it while it's still available, because those are my one-of-a-kind. I will not make another one like it. The outside of the bag and the inside of the bag might be the same, but the decal on the bag will not be. Okay, so we have some more one-of-a-kind design bags. These are under the limited design tab on the website. And this one is My Level of Sarcasm Depends on Your Level of Stupidity. Paired with red and white stars. We have a crochet themed bag, and that says I crochet, but my favorite hobby is collecting yarn. A little gnome with yarn. Okay. Then we have a red truck with sunflowers. It got paired with some sunflower material. Pretty cute. Of course, the design is on both sides. We have a little Christmas bag that is one of a kind. Just a girl who loves Christmas. Paired it with some snowmen. Those were all small drawstrings. These are now the medium tall drawstrings. And then it's a red truck that says Welcome Autumn. It's got some pumpkins and a tree in full autumn. Very cute. And again, has the sunflower drawstring, yellow on the inside of this one. And then another, just a girl who loves fall. It's got a pumpkin, some looks like apples, hot apple cider, and probably a pumpkin latte, and then a pumpkin muffin with some caramel apples in front of it. Cute little design. Again, we did the sunflower tabs on the top, and then I paired it with burgundy on the inside. Another cute one that I got, and this is whatever spices your pumpkin. Pretty cute. Got a very colorful. It's got a pumpkin latte, a pumpkin, maybe it's an apple cinnamon muffin. And then this one is paired with that light yellow. Another fall one that I have, and it's just a basket, a wheelbarrow full of sunflowers paired with the sunflower on the top. And this one actually has sunflower material all the way down inside of it. But yeah, pretty cute. I like the sunflowers with the wheelbarrow. Some different designs on those. And then the last one of a kind design that I have in the shop, and this is just, and it might have shown this last time, is a snail. And I think maybe I did show him the last time. But he's cute, and I like a little snail there. Okay, so now the next bags that I have are all of the new Christmas bags that I have in the shop of the designs that I have. These, I think I might have everything that we have in the shop, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'll show what I've got. The first one is our knitting hedgehogs who are knitting some socks. Really cute. I had this material last year. It went so fast. I mean, I had them on the website and they were probably sold in an hour. So yeah, so I did it again this year. I ended up putting red with it on that. We got a couple of small bags, a small drawstring. Each one of them has a hedgehog on each side. I paired it with red on the bottom and then a light sage green on the inside of the liner. I got a small snap to go with that. And then you have your red wristlet. We got a medium drawstring. These mediums have 2 hedgehogs on them, the way it worked out. And then this is a medium snap, and of course has 2 hedgehogs on it again. So I was able to position it to the point that I was able to get 2 hedgehogs on the medium and 1 hedgehog on each of the small bags on each side. So it was kind of nice. It was a lot of wasted material because of the way the design is, but it looks better, I think, when you have a full hedgehog or 2 hedgehogs on the bag itself. Okay, so the next Christmas one that I have is some Santa gnomes. They have multicolored, well, red, blue, and green hats with candy canes sitting in some garland. I paired it with a holly. Yeah, a holly on the inside. This is glittery too, if you can't tell, which I don't think it's coming out in the thing, but both it's glittery on the outside and the inside. So the inside fabric has a glitter to it as well. A nice small snap bag. Sorry if you can hear the dog. Apparently somebody just pulled up out front and she does not like that. A medium snap. And again, it's got that holly material on the inside. And then we have a medium drawstring on that one as well. It's got a red polka dot drawstring tab and then the holly green swirled on the inside. The next Christmas holiday bag that we have is some dogs with candy canes and holly berries and leaves. I paired it with Christmas light material. It's white and just has Christmas bulbs, strings of lights on there. We got a small drawstring with red cord. We got a small snap, and this has a green drawstring, or green wristlet. And again, they all have the lights on the inside. And then a medium. And if you guys can't tell, this is also glittery. I don't know why, but this year I bought most all of my Christmas fabric who had a glitter to it. I guess I just liked it. I didn't really want anything specific Santa. Last year I did snowmen and it went really well, but I just didn't want anything that was just really one season that you could only just use it for the month of Christmas. They're holiday dogs. They can be, you know, they can be put in later in the year, earlier in the year. Okay, the last one that I have is my winter scene. This has a barn, tractors, truck. Really cute. Every one of them has a different on the back depending on where I was able to cut out. Some of them have the tractor, some of them have the barn, some of them have the truck. It all depends on where it fell when I was cutting these out. I paired it with the plaid. Thought it looked really good. We have a small drawstring with the plaid, and then of course black draw cords, and then I have a medium snap. I did have a large, but it's gone at the moment, and I don't know if I'm going to make any more of these unless they sell. I think I still have a little bit more material left of this. I might not. But I thought this scene was pretty, you know, just a winter scene. It'll allow you to hold it through, you know, all of your winter months, because it's just a winter farm scene. But so that's why I label them my holiday bags when I put them out, because they're technically not Christmas. They're for the holidays. They're for the seasons of fall and seasons of winter. But yeah, that is all of the updates on the website, which, like I said, is a lot. But all of these bags are on the website. I have more Christmas one-of-a-kind design bags that will be added to the website. Hopefully, maybe by the time this airs, they will already be on the website. But remember, we have a 2-year anniversary sale going on, and it's a 20% off all the bags on the website except for the special order leather bag, because those are made on demand as they order, so they're not in the shop basically sitting there waiting to be purchased. So everything else is in the shop. Stitch markers, stitch stoppers, yarn koozies, and bags are all, you know, and all the other little things that I have in the shop are all on sale, 20% off. So the code, like I said, I'll put it down here on the bottom. I'll also put it in the description underneath. When you hit the more button, it'll show you more information. The code will be right there. It is case sensitive, so make sure that you use the way it is typed out, because it is case sensitive and it will not take the code if it's typed out differently. But yeah, that is it for the update to the shop. Let's go into our knitting. We have some finished objects and we got a lot of knitting to go over. So let's get into that. Okay, so our finished objects. Well, we have a couple, more than a couple. I got my shift cowl done for the gift for a friend. Love it. Love the way it looks. This time, well, it's a little warm. This time I blocked it before I sewed it together so that I could get it as nice and wide as I wanted to, because it is for a guy and I wanted it to go over the head really easy. But yeah, turned out really nice. I like the color. Got all the way to the very last round, and I ran out of my gray. So I just did the two colors together on the very last row, which was okay. It's going to be the row that's pretty much tucked in. You're not really going to see it. It's not by the face. So I'm okay with it. I think it turned out really cute. I like it. Very happy with it. Getting ready to gift it to him. And I had enough of the two colors left over. I had a little bit of the gray left over, so I was able to do a hat. I used all the gray that I had to do a pop of color of gray on the bottom, and then I just held those double to do my favorite beanie that I like for myself. Fits really nice. I ran out of the burgundy, and then I ended up holding right at the crown the other color, which happened to be Thanksgiving Sides from Kimber's Cozy Creations, and I held that double for the very crown of the hat, which was almost to the point of the decreases. But it had enough of the red in there that you just had a little pool of green and your yellow here and there, but I don't think nobody's really going to notice too much that it is, and who cares? I think it looks really cute. I think it blends really well. I'm very happy with it. And then this was not even on my list of cast-ons in my whips last time, but this was a cast-on and a cast-off in a day. These beanies don't really take me all that long to do, so I was able to get that on and off the needles in a day. And then I was able to, I'm making hats for my nephews for Christmas, and I was able to do another beanie. This one's going to my nephew who lives in Arizona, and I just wanted a really lightweight hat for him, just so that he had a hat on his head in the wintertime. So I was able to do a little beanie there for him as well. And again, this was not on the needles. This was on and off the needles. I guess last Wednesday I cast it on, and last Thursday evening it came off the needles. So it was again another on and off in a day. Very easy. I like those hats. They go relatively quick, and they make a nice little project. But those are all of my finished objects that I have. Let's go into our whips because, oh Lord, we have a lot of them. So let's talk about our whips that we have, because we have a lot. So let's start with what we've had on the needles. And I know one that I've had on the needles for a while. And this would be my daily knit shawl that I have. Got to do some work on this. I'm on, not quite a month behind. I'm on September 12th. So we're the 30th. I'm only a couple of weeks behind now. Better than I was. I was over a month behind. Was able to get some knitting done on it. Last week I had a couple of meetings, a couple of training things that I had to do, and I just have to listen to them so I can sit there and do the knitting. It's just, it's got a lot of unique stitches in there that it's doing. I like it. It's, like I said, it's not going to be the prettiest of scarves, wraps. It's not. I understand that. But I'm just trying to use up some of the sock yarn that I have so that I just don't throw it away and let it go to waste. I have a lot of it, and I just want to get it used up to have it as something up here that I can wear when I'm in my office and just wrap around my neck and just to have. But yeah, that's my plan for that. And it's going along good. I mean, like I said, I'm at September 12th. And we're 15 days behind instead of 30 days behind, or more than 30 days behind. But yeah, I guess the next thing that I had on the needles, I guess I did have this on the needles last month, because I got the yarn in August. Yeah, I got the yarn at the 1st of August. So I guess I did have it on the needles. But it's my cardigan. And I have separated for sleeves, so, I did get quite a bit. It's just, when you knit one row and then you purl back, it just takes me a little bit longer to do my purl. I thought about trying to learn how to knit backwards, but I'm just teaching myself how to purl correctly. And I thought, I don't need that. Purling correctly is a little bit faster for me. So it's not taking me as long to go through. But now I have to put my markers in. That's why I gotta change my marker here on this. Because where was I? Did I not have a marker? I thought I had a marker. I did. That's where I was last podcast, in this orange, and I've done that much. So that's quite a bit, guys. So let me move this up to my purple so that we know where we're at. I gotta remember to do this. Oh, I'm suffering here, and I got my glasses right here that I can put on. There we go. Okay. Since these were so new, there really wasn't, I had just cast on, so there wasn't any marker in these because I had just cast it on. So let's get a marker here to put in this so we know where we're at. And we can see how much growth we have in the next podcast, which I'm hoping now that, but I like, let's finish talking about this. I like the color, very neutral. I did try it on after I separated for sleeves. There is a really wide band that goes on here, so it comes right to here on my shoulders. It's not too tight, but you have a 6-inch wide band on each side of this that will definitely fill in and make it nice and full. But I was able to do my increases, separate for my sleeves, and get that going. So, I'm trying to stick with my 30 minutes of knitting every day. And every day, yes, trying to get 30 minutes of knitting every day on my projects if I can when I sit down, so that I'm not just working on one project. Once I got rid of my shift cowl, and then I wanted to get that hat done so that set could get gifted. And then, another little beanie. I needed some not thinkable projects to take along with me and one skein projects to take along with me when I went to places. So I was able to get, I have a couple of hats on the needles and different things, but being able to get some of this stuff on the needles so that I can do that. But this, definitely I would like to get it done this year so that I could possibly wear it for the winter months and into the spring if I could. I know I'm not going to get it done in the next couple of weeks. It's a lot of knitting. And I don't have all the yarn. I still have some of the yarn left. I knew I needed more, so I called the store where I got it, and she's holding it for me. Now, if I get to the point where I need to have it, then absolutely I will call her up. I will ask her to ship it to me, and we'll go from there. But as of right now, I don't need it. I still have 4 more skeins. 5 more skeins that I'm still on to my first skein of all of that I have done. So, you know, that way I don't have to worry about it. I can at least get to that point, and hopefully, you know, I will be able to be almost done with it by the time I need to get that other skein. And I'll be at the store in December. But like I said, I don't plan on having it done before then, because I've got a lot of other projects that I've started and I would like to get them done. I know this is a project that's going to take a little bit of time. It's not a fast project, but I do plan on getting it done. But that is one of them. Oh, this one, I kind of forgot I had this one. This one's been on the needles longer than that. And this is my Sorellis tea. And I'm working on it. I'm getting stuff there. This is where I was last time we podcasted. So, I mean, I got quite a bit done on it. This is one of those that I do when I'm home, because I need to make sure that I am wrapping my yarn correctly at the beginning of round, so that I do not have a line on the inside, because remember, this is what's going to show. This on the outside is not going to show. I don't mind having a little bit, because you're going to see where it's been put up, but hopefully, you know, as it wears, it won't show so much. And it is under the arm. It's not like it's right down the middle of the back. They had you do your beginning of round under the arm, which is really nice. But yeah, I mean, I like this and I love the colors, but it's getting to the point that, you know, I mean, I could wear it now, because I wore my other one quite a bit, and I wanted to have it done, and I could wear a tank top underneath it for a little bit more warmth. But we'll see. I mean, I'm working on it, and I'm getting it there. It's just, you know, it takes a little bit of time. Like I said, I have a lot of other projects and a lot of other things that I wanted to get done, that this kind of went on the back burner a little bit to be done. But I'm trying to add this into the rotation again, as every 30 minutes on it, at least once or twice a week, so that I'm getting 30 minutes on it, an hour worth of knitting. In 30 minutes, I can do 4 rows, which is one color, and then I rotate to the next color. So usually I'll do my 4 rows, and then I'll start the next round with the color that needs to be. And like here, I knit 4 or 5 stitches past the round, so that I know that that's the color that I'm going with, so that I don't make the mistake and pick up the wrong color and start knitting with the wrong color again and have my lines off. So that's what I usually do on that, but usually 4 rounds I can do in about 30 minutes. Not too bad. But yeah, that one's been on the needles a little bit longer than the other ones. Okay, the next one I know I started about the same time as my cardigan was my Relentless tee. And it's still not very big. But this is definitely one of those that I cannot take to knit group with me, because there's a design both ways on the sleeve, on the knit side and also on the purl side, until we get it connected together. And I separate for sleeves. It's not going to be a pattern that I'm going to be able to take with me for anything if anybody's talking to me, because I really need to pay attention to my pattern and do that. Right now I'm still increasing. So I've got my raglan increases, I've got the pattern on the sleeves, which I really do love the pattern that is knitting out on the sleeves. I just like that. That's one of the reasons why I liked the t-shirt, was because I liked the sleeves, the design on the sleeves. So that's why I decided to pick this pattern, because I liked the sleeves. I liked the way the sleeves looked on it, and I figured, you know what, I want to do that. Well, the pattern itself was written in a different language, and when they translated it, they missed a lot of the directions on how to do it. So somebody who is not a very experienced knitter and cannot kind of, and not that I'm super experienced in knitting, so I've knit a lot, but this is the first year I've knit a lot of garments. But having knit a couple of different patterns as far as garments and stuff like that, and changing a few things here and there, I'm able to look at another pattern and go, okay, well, this is what I'll do for these stitches. Because I can't read the pattern. They left out too much information. So it's like, okay, for my increase of the V on the neck, I'm following the instructions that they tell you on your rocket tee, because those I understand. You do also put an I-cord around the inside of this in the collar. So, okay, if I do it the same way as the rocket tee, it should be fine. But, so, and I like doing an I-cord around the collar. It makes it nice and finished, and around the cap sleeves, it makes it nice and finished, and it calls for the I-cord on both of those. And as I look at the pattern, it's very, 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 very similarly laid out like the rocket tee. It just has the different design on the cap sleeves. Not too far off as far as assembling it the same way. It's all knit flat until you connect it in the V, and then you still go a little bit longer before you're doing the sleeves, and then you separate for sleeves. So I can use that same pattern, but somebody that has not been able to, that has not knit garments before and has not swapped patterns or parts of patterns would be very lost with this pattern. It's just missing a lot of information. But I will link all of my patterns and everything that I'm using for all of these projects down below, and they will, in my Ravelry page, there is not a lot of notes on them because, guys, you know I can't even remember to push the counter on the counts of number of rows that I have. I mean, I've gone to look through my Ravelry to go, oh, what needle did I use for this hat project because I want to make another one. I never wrote it down. I just forget to do that. I need to get better with it, but I really forget to do it. But at least you know what pattern I'm using. I don't even put the yarn because half the time it's not even in the system, and so I don't even try to put it in there. But so that is project number 4. Okay, the next project that I believe we had on the needles, at least part of it, I think it had been started, was my shawl that I'm doing. And I can't remember the name of this shawl. Always Be Brave. That kind of rings a bell. But again, I liked it because of the pattern. This is actually well written. I'm having no issues with this. The only thing that I am changing, and it's curving a little bit, and I think I'm going to stop doing the extra. There's too many increases right here. And it's curving, and I have an I-cord. I added an I-cord to both sides because I like the finished look of an I-cord. I really do. So I'm adding an I-cord to a lot of my shawls and stuff because it just looks finished. But I noticed, you're increasing, you knit one after the I-cord, you knit one, and then you front and back, and then front again to get this design right here, which is a very pretty design. But for me, it's curving too much. I don't like, and I don't know, I probably will be able to stretch it, and it might be the I-cord that is making it curve too much. But I don't know, I'll see. This side lays pretty flat. And I don't know, maybe when I block it, I'll be able to block it and it'll lay flat on me. I don't know. But I do like the design. I have, the blue is my monthly colorway from Kimber. Don't know. It is royal blue. It is in her monthly colorway, and I picked the solids. And the variegated is from Needles at the Ready, and it is Monsters U. So it's got your green and your bright colors, green and yellow, and well, a little bit of yellow, but your greens, blues. And I just thought it was a very nice contrast against that bright blue. Again, I like blues and greens, very happy with the colors, very bright, and just wanted to have another shawl on the needles. I do wear them quite often. I don't wear them as much as I used to when I worked in an office, but I still try to wear my knits when I go out places if I'm going to be anywhere that, you know, I'll even wear a scarf when I go to the grocery store, just as my scarf under my coat, just for warmth. But I try to wear my knits as much as I possibly can. Whenever I'm going anywhere, I try to put a knit on if I can. But that's another project that I have going. Again, not too bad. I can do this one at knit. It's just, it's a 12-row repeat. So I really have to follow along with my pattern. So I'm trying not to take stuff to knit group that I have to follow a pattern with, because I tend to not mark it, tend to keep, you know, as I'm talking, listening to what's going on, I tend to not mark. So I'm trying not to take projects to knit that I have to really keep track of where I'm going on. But that, I believe, is all of the projects that I had on needles at last episode. So now we can get into our new cast-ons, which we have a few. We've got a few. We got the 2 sweaters off the needles and the shift off the needles. So we got 3 things off the needles that we had on the needles, and 2 others that were on and off the needles in a rather matter of a day. But we got 4 more onto the needles. So let's talk about the first one that we cast on, and it's been on the needles for a little bit of time, and that is a Musselboro hat that I have going for one of my other nephews. This is just the hand-dyed yarn that they carry at Hobby Lobby. It's one of their colors. I don't even think I have the ball band in here. Yeah, it's just one of their, it's blue and white, variegated, so it's kind of striping out with the blue and white. It's pretty cute. I like how it's going out. But, you know, this is a project that I can take to knit and not have to worry about making my count. I can just sit and knit and knit and knit and knit and knit and not have to worry until I get to a certain length. Do I have to worry about actually starting to decrease? But, you know, I just started it, and usually most people use a whole skein of fingering weight yarn. So if I end up using a whole skein of fingering weight yarn, I got a lot left to go to put in here. It doesn't need to be done until Christmas, so I've got time to do it. So it's just a project I wanted on the needles so that I can work on it and take it, you know, in the car when we go for rides and different things like that, so that I don't have to worry about what I'm doing. But that's one of the projects that I have cast on. It's on the needles, going good. It will be done before Christmas, but, you know. And then the other project that I have, and of course I got 3 new nephews. Well, one's older, but 2 relatively new nephews. And I wanted to do Musselboro hats for all 3 of them. But the one in Arizona, I thought, doesn't really need a Musselboro hat with the 2 layers. He's in Arizona. It's not that cold where he's at in Arizona. It gets a little chilly, but he's not going to need 2 layers of hat and then fold it up to have 4 layers. So I was like, okay, he's not going to need that. So that's why I went to that little beanie on the gray one. The other ones live in New York State. It gets cold. They're going to need a hat that's going to keep their heads relatively warm. They can always put a hood up over top of any of their hats, you know, to keep the wind off it, but at least it's a hat on the head. But this other one was I decided to do another little beanie. I had a bunch of navy blue variegated mini skeins, and I thought, oh, I can do, because he's a year old. I was like, he's going to need a toddler hat. It'll be smaller than an adult small hat. I won't have to, you know, have so much. I could probably do it with 3 mini skeins. Because I've heard people doing a child's hat, you know, a 1-year-old's hat with 2 mini skeins. Well, these kids have the size heads of an adult. So I wasn't going to have enough. I decided I was going to do another beanie, and I added a gray into it to have a variegated with navy blue and gray, and it's a lighter gray. But so I just started this yesterday. Got quite a bit. I guess I'll put a stitch marker where I'm at. I need to do that with my beanie or my Musselboro hat. Put a stitch marker where I'm at. Most likely it'll be done way before I podcast next time. But that's the next thing that I put on the needles. I didn't mark this, where I was at with this. So I got to do that. Let's get some more stitch markers out here. We got a lot of them over here in this corner. I like these ones that have the big hooks on them. Just makes them easier to go in. If I could pick them up. There we go. And a couple more here. It's got a couple more projects that I need to mark. Those are out. Oops. That one will show up on this because it's white. Okay. So I'll put this in here where we're at. Okay. That one's marked. I need to mark my Musselboro hat. Where I'm at with that. Okay, so the next thing that I started, and I think I talked about it last time, I don't know. I can't remember. I talked about it in my knit groups, and I can't remember if I talked about it or not. But everybody's talking about doing a Stephen West. And I don't know as I would ever wear one of the big, huge shawl blanket type things that he does with 5 skeins of yarn. But I was going through something and I saw, it's called the Treasure Trove wrap. And I liked the design on it. I liked the pattern that it was there. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to cast that on. I'm going to do that. So yesterday morning, I decided I would cast on for my treasure trove. I had gotten my yarn, so I just stashed stove because I had some yarn, and I've been getting yarn, but I had this tan, which has flecks of brown in it, and then I had this brown cashmere, and I thought that'll be my second color, and then I got this variegated, which has tan, brown, orange, and red. So So that'll be my third color. My fourth color is my burnt orange from my Kimber's monthly colorway. And then I think my September red, which is not here yet, will go perfectly for my fifth color that I have to do. But I got it cast on, and I just got it cast on. I mean, I haven't been, I got it cast on, I got one row through it is all I did. One row there and back, and then, yeah, I'm ready to go. But they said a 24-inch cord. I didn't quite have a 24. I had a 37, and I think I'm going to go to my 22 because I think with my needles I will be fine with my 22-inch cord. So I'm going to change my cords out and go from there. But yeah, get a smaller cord in here and do that. But that one probably is going to take me a little bit of time because it's 5 skeins going into it. But you know, I've accumulated a lot of yarn, and I need to start making projects to get rid of as much of it as I can. So that's going to take 5 skeins. I got more than that in, but it's 5 skeins. Okay, so the next thing that I got cast on, and I just got the yarn yesterday, and I cast on last night, and it is a Musselboro hat, and this is in hunting orange. It's called Gone Hunting. It's a DK weight, and I actually had Tanya from Tanya's Cornbread Honey dye this for me because my husband wanted a orange hunting hat for, he liked the Musselboro that I did for my son, and he wanted one in hunting orange for hunting. So I got that and I cast on. This needs to be off the needles by the end of the month. So this will be my project to take more than the other Musselboro. I mean, I'll work on my other projects, but this one I'm going to, hopefully by today, I can have all the increases done. I can put it on my circular needle, and then it's just knit. I did get 2 skeins. I will know when I get done with the 1 skein where we're at, how long we are. He would like it at least the length of my son, if not a little bit longer. He would definitely like to have double fold. And he's like, even if it's too long, he goes, it could be to the point that I could do a triple fold if I need to, if it's too long. So yeah, he's okay with it being a little bit longer. So I'm definitely going to use both of the skeins completely into the yarn, into the pattern, to get it as long as I possibly can get it. But that is my 4th new project that I have cast on. That's everything that I have on the needles at the moment. We will see if in a month we have anything done, which we probably will have the little beanie done. And hopefully by the end of the month, I will have this done. And I'm going to try to stick to my pattern of at least doing 30 minutes twice a week on all of the other projects that I have. Because all the other projects are relatively big. You know, a Musselboro is not a big project, but it's an extensive, long project. The beanie's not going to take me all that long. That could be something that I could stash bust out in a short amount of time. But the treasure trove has got 5 skeins of yarn in it. It's going to take a little bit of time. The other 3 projects are other sweaters as well, which are going to take a little bit of time to do. Sweaters are not a quick thing. The shawl is, going to take a little bit of time. I do enjoy it to be able to do. I try to sit down and do full 12 rounds of it and get done with it. At least once or twice a week to sit down and do that. Depends on how much sewing that I have to do. how much knitting I get done, but there's certain things that I will be working on. But that is, oh, I gotta put my stitch marker in. There's no stitch marker in the let's do this. Let's put it right here in the middle of the first round. Okay, so I got that in there so we can see where we're at. But hopefully by the end of next time I podcast, if I podcast in 2 weeks, depends on, now that I don't have anything in the garden, I might do a knitting podcast in 2 weeks. You can see where we're at. If not, next month, hopefully, like I said, I'll have some of these projects finished. But that is it for whips and new cast-ons. Let's talk about our yarn, because we got a lot, guys. And none of it is my monthly colorways for the month of September. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so with the acquisition part of this, I was supposed to go to the Western New York Fiber Fest. Things happened, I was not able to go. But one of my friends from the knitting group wanted to get me something while she was there. And she ended up getting me, she asked me, she goes, I don't even know what your colors are. I said, well, my colors are blue, teal, green, greens, and oranges, and yellows and stuff like that. So she went and she found this gorgeous skein of yarn. And it is from Birch Tree Fibers. It is so pretty. I love it. It is just gorgeous. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I might end up using this with another solid to do a shawl. I don't know. I haven't decided. It's very, very pretty. Yeah, I don't know. But I love it. It is called September Marigolds. Very, very pretty. I love it. I'm very happy with it. But that was gifted to me, and I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to use it. So that was one. I didn't buy that one. Somebody gave it to me, but it's another skein of yarn added to the stash. So then I was buying yarn for the hats for the little boys. I ended up getting on Hobbii, and I ended up buying 3 skeins of this darker gray. That's, yeah, the Easy Care. Yeah, I got 3 skeins of that. I still have 2 left. I wasn't sure. I was going to do a muscle burrow, and then I decided, I really don't need to do a muscle burrow for him. I just need to do a beanie. So I have gray left that I can add to. It's fingering weight, 100% wool. I can add it into other projects that I have going on that I need a solid color here and there. So I have that. The other, I ended up getting 2 kinds, and I ended up getting lighter gray, which I'm using. I ended up getting 4 of these, which I'm using one of them in the other beanie that I'm making. But yeah, so these are baby wool. This is 100% wool as well. And again, it's gray. I can add it to another project that I have going on if I need a breakup into a project or something. So that's where I'm at with that. Then I had a coupon, 40% off. And I decided that I liked this color. This is the Dolce Cashmere. It's 65 virgin wool, 25 pomade, and 10% cashmere. And I just love the variegate of colors that it has. These are definitely my colors. This is the same yarn that I'm doing my Relentless Tea with. It's one skein and it has 842 yards. So it's enough to do a sweater for me, a short sleeve t-shirt sweater for me. This will variegate, will stripe out, will fade out into the different colors. Very, very, I just love it. I can't wait to start a project and have this for the spring. Summer, very bright colors, love it. This is definitely one of my colors and going to definitely excited about using that. So those were what I got from Hobbii. You already saw my Go Fishing or Gone Fishing colorway, my Hunting Orange from Cornbread Honey. I got 2 of those skeins. I already showed you those. The other ones that kind of went with that, well, not really went with it, but I ordered, she had these in a mini skein set. And there was 5 fades mini skeins. And I was like, huh, do you have this in full skeins? And she looked at me and she goes, no, but I know somebody who could dye that for you. And I'm like, really? She's like, absolutely. So I picked the 2 in the middle because I didn't want the real light one and I didn't want the real dark one, but I wanted the 2 in the middle. So she picked the 2 in the middle and she dyed these for me. So I had 2 full skeins that she dyed. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I do know I'm going to do another t-shirt of some kind of a short sleeve sweater because I can do it in 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn for most of my t-shirts that or my short sleeve sweaters that I do. I can do the size that I need, I can do in 2 skeins. And if I need to have a contrasting skein for possibly a ribbing on the bottom or something like that, because most of them, I try to do a lot of top-down ones so that I can do that. And then I can do a solid on the sleeves and on the ribbing on the bottom if I need to. But yeah, so those are 2 of my skeins that I got. No name on them because it was just a mini pack that she had, and they really didn't, it was like a coral mini pack, and they just don't have names on them, which is okay. They're nameless. And then in my little bag that I got from her yesterday, she gave me 2 little mini skeins, which are so cute. Little 10-gram mini skeins. Or are they 5? Nope, 10 grams. To be able to have 2 little 10-gram mini skeins to do who knows what with. They can do socks, you know, heels, toes. They can do toes and cuffs on socks or whatever, but yeah, I have those. The other thing that I got from her, oh, there it is. I was gonna say I'm missing one. She had a fundraiser. Her son was needed a car, and a lot of people asked her and said, well, why don't you do a GoFundMe? She goes, I don't want to take money from people to just donate, but I can sell you a skein of yarn. So she did a fundraiser. It was called the Helping Hands fundraiser to give a portion of the yarn, the orders of the yarn, to her son so he could buy a car. And these are the skeins. Now, they look totally different because of the way they're wrapped up, but I know they're not. It's just the way that, you know, each one of them wrapped up. One looks like it has more green in it than the other one has lighter colors. But I know the lighter colors are in that. But these are the Helping Hands. And I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But, you know, I wanted to support her and help her son. And I get 2 skeins of yarn out of it. So I have 2 skeins of yarn that I probably will end up doing some sort of a t-shirt sweater with. It'll be variegated out. Yeah, who knows? It's got some speckles of some purple and pink in there. A light pink. You got your green, gray. There's just a lot of colors in here. Bright blue. There's so much. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I have no idea when I start knitting it out, what it's going to look like. But those were my two for the helping hands. And the last thing that I got, she got this new base in. Whoops, sorry. She got this new base in, and it is a tweedy base with neon flecks. Very, very cute. It's called Flow Base. And when I was there the last time she showed these, she had them dyed. And I'm like, oh my God, those are gorgeous. But I didn't buy them because I was like, well, I really don't need them. But she sent out a coupon for 20% off. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to order because I liked them. I really did like them. And I could see myself putting them together in a sweater. I don't know. I can see them all together. And they all look great together. But I can also see these two all by themselves. These two together. I can see 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 these two together. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I do like them. But, you know, maybe I will do another. And she has other colors. And there's a raspberry color that's really, really pretty. And I might end up getting that. And I might end up doing another. There's shawls out there that take 4 colors. I might end up doing a shawl that takes 4 colors. I don't know. I don't know as I will ever wear a shawl. Maybe I'll look for another wrap that's a longer around the, I don't know. But I definitely like these colors. And I like that they have the neon tweed in them. And the neon is, it's like the neon yellow is green is the green here. The neon orange is this orange. And then you have little flecks of this light. I don't know. I really like it. I think it's really, really cute and really pretty. Like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I will find something to do with it. But that is all of my acquisitions that I have. Let's talk about where you can find us coming up here in the next, well, it's going to be 2 months away, but I'll talk about where we're going to be because, it's going to be on the website. I'll have it posted on the website so you guys can see it on the website. And so you can look forward to seeing where you can find us. So let's talk about where we're going to be. Okay, so lastly, where you can find us for, of course, you can always find Tammy's Homesteading Crafts on the website. Everything that we have available is on the website. I am finishing out the year with 2 more trunk shows. One local that is for a small guild, so that's really not open to the public. So I have that trunk show going, but I also have 2 other trunk shows that will definitely be open to the public, and they are not until the middle of November. The one will start November 21st and go till December 7th, and that is at Longtail Knits in Northfield, Ohio. She had me last year over their anniversary and also Small Business Saturday, and she wanted to have me back again for their anniversary and Small Business Saturday. I will be in the store on December 7th to close out the trunk show. So again, you will hear this a couple more times before that airs. If you guys are in the area, stop on by. I would love to sit and knit with you at the big table and enjoy to see all of you again that come out to see me. The second place that we will be, and again, will be in November, and our trunk show will start November 23rd at Christie's Fiber Arts, and that is in Oklahoma. We will not be going to Oklahoma. The trunk show will start on the 23rd. It will definitely go through Small Business Saturday. It is an open-ended trunk show at this point. We don't know when we're closing it out. it's her busy time of the year. She says if they're selling really good, we will just keep selling them. She goes, if we notice that they're, not selling, we will pack up the trunk show and send it home, but it'll definitely be at least 2 weeks. So it'll be from the 23rd to at least sometime in December through Thanksgiving and Small Business Saturday, Black Friday, all of that, and into the next week before it gets shipped back. So if you are in that area, stop on in, see what bags I have in the shop there at Christie's Fiber Arts in Oklahoma. So those are the last 2 trunk shows that I will be doing for the season. I'm planning on taking off the month of December for sewing. The website will be open, but there will be no new bags going into the shop. I'm going to take the time to do some knitting and also designing of some new bags. I have a couple of things in my mind that I want to take the time to maybe get made, seen what I can do, just to take a little bit of time to do some things. It's hard in the summertime when I'm really busy sewing to actually make and design new bags. I just don't have the time. So I plan on taking the month of December and maybe into January a little bit to not do too much of new things into the shop, as much as adding, making new designs, designing some new bags to get them available in the shop for next year. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Guys, I don't know how long it is going to be. It seems like I've been up here talking for a long time. I probably have been. But it's been a month since I have seen you guys, and I miss the monthly or the weekly videos. And I thank everybody who's been praying for my family. I appreciate it. We have really good outcomes, and things are really, really happening well for us. Yeah, so I really appreciate all of you. Still keep us in our prayers because we still need them to make sure that we get a full, clean bill of health here. But we're working on it, and we're hoping that everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. But yeah, that is it. Like I said, I don't know. Depends on if I can think of something to do different other than a knit podcast in 2 weeks. But I will hopefully be back in 2 weeks, whether it's a knit podcast or a cooking, preserving podcast. We'll see. Like I said, there is no more garden, so we don't have another garden tour to do for the season. We're done with that. I don't need to show you how I clean up and get my garden ready for the fall, because I've done that. There's a video in there. But yeah, that's where we're at with that. I will say goodbye, guys. It's been 2 weeks. Well, no, it's not been 2 weeks. It's been a month since I've talked about this. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you in 2 weeks with maybe a knit podcast. If not, you'll see what I've got done in a month. So that is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you who have subscribed and have liked my videos, shared my videos. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. It does benefit me by you subscribing to my channel, and I truly appreciate all of it. Thank you so much, and have a good day. Bye.